go live. I am going live, aren't I? Can you guys hear me now? I don't know what has actually happened there. Oh my goodness, I have literally been saying all this stuff for so long, and I don't know if any of you guys actually heard any of that whatsoever. Oh my goodness, right, so anyway guys, I will just start this as part of the intro. Yo, what's going on guys? It's Lou from Lou's Live and unbelievable technical difficulties. I cannot believe that has actually happened. I have actually just been going off for a full-on rant for God knows how long, and that is honestly unbelievable. So I suppose it was good because I've had quite a few people join on the old section now, on the old comment section. But yeah, anyway guys, this is my Mortal Kombat 2021 movie spoiler review podcast. So let's get it. I'm ready. Now I know you guys are actually there. I'm ready. Let's go. Right, so yeah, so talking about Mortal Kombat, like after watching it God knows how many times now, I'm happy to say like it is a good film, but mate, it does have its flaws. It does have its flaws, and I'm not gonna go into like what has actually happened in the film because I feel like there's enough of you guys that would have been able to watch this. I don't want to go into the full details of like the film in and out, because I just want to get into like my favourite scenes about this film, the bad things that I didn't like, and there's also a few things that I feel like they should have added, so which we'll get into it throughout the stream. But I really want to take this time to like appreciate you guys actually coming in to like getting involved in the stream. Like thanks you guys so much. So just quickly, we've got King, what up my man, we've got Dave Savage, who we've got Chris German, yo my man, Lou Short, thanks so much for joining, like and subscribe my man. And yeah, so mate, with that said, I'm just going to go straight into this. I hope you guys are alright, and yeah, let's just do this mate, I'm ready. So the things that I mainly liked about this thing, mate, which is, like I say, I'm just going to go through like the good things like I like about this thing. There was like 9 points I've got for the good, I've got 7 points for the bad, and then like a couple of things that we'll wrap up anyway. So yeah, with the main fights that I did actually enjoy, or like the scenes that I did enjoy through this film, was like, I'm not gonna lie, the best thing for me was the first 14 minutes of the film. I know that a lot of people have actually been saying this themselves, but dear God, like honestly, that first Bihan and Hanzo fight was just so good in my opinion. Like it was insane. And as a Mortal Kombat fan, like I feel like because we kind of knew what was actually going to happen in the story, like Hanzo was going to be speaking to Himiri, or like you knew what Himiri and Satoshi's like ending was going to be. Like even that tiny little bit of dialogue where he says, "I am grateful and I'm blessed to be with you," like I feel it, mate. Like it's actually just so good. Like how they've actually just managed to like just do these tiny little bits of dialogue, but then again, this is also going to be one of my flaws as well. But yeah, no, like throughout that fight anyway, like there was just so much. Like to be fair, I love like as soon as like Hanzo has actually seen Himiri and Satoshi like frozen up, and he's like, you know, the music to that when he's like, he just gets up and he starts like killing the Lin Kuei was just like, oh God, it was just so good how they actually managed to do that. But the only flaw I just have in that scene, like it's not much, it really isn't, but I just think just to carry on with the tone of what just happened in that scene was just like the music just shortly after the sword fight, I think like the music just got a little bit too techno kind of thing. Like don't see this as a bad thing, it's like I'm someone who loves my trance, like I love my EDM music, I love all kind of music anyway, but like especially from like the Mortal Kombat like like anything to do with Mortal Kombat, you think like live action or like the cartoons or anything like that, and you just think like they've actually got like mad soundtracks, like it's just so sick. But like I just didn't think like for what they were going for, like just that one particular scene, I just feel like the music just should have just carried on just being the way it was, and just like a little bit slight more darker tone. But yeah, just going into the techno, I just didn't feel like it fitted just then. But hey, that's neither here or there. Like overall, that whole fight scene, from start to finish, the whole 14 minutes was awesome. I just wish they just carried on from that. But I'm gonna carry on from saying then this is leading into my second point. But the second point and the fight between Sub-Zero and Jax is just like, it's just so good. Like it's actually just insane. Like I know there was a couple of cuts and stuff, but I think because like from the trailer, it just seemed like he had the gun like exploded, of ice, and then like his arms was just there. But like I just feel like obviously seeing the fight was just so different, because like you kind of think like, oh, like you wasn't expecting that, you know what's going to happen, but like you wasn't really expecting too much, because like Sub-Zero is meant to be this big guy, like this, like, you know, main antagonist kind of thing. So yeah, it's just mad. Like I just really like Sub-Zero throughout this whole film anyway, and again we're gonna go into those actors that I really like anyway, my characters that do stand out, so don't worry. But yeah, that fight scene between Sub-Zero and Jax, like for me was just so, like, it was good. It was really, really good. But yeah, I just going from that, like I'm just gonna go into my point three. Like I'm gonna try and like look over the chat and try and interact with everyone on here as much as I can. So thanks to some of you guys as well, like joining me yet again. We've got Mark Sopraso, we've got Vasi. Thanks ever so much for joining. It's awesome. So yeah, just carrying on. Yeah, so it's actually mad to think this, but like I know you're again. I know that some of you are actually going to hear this like a lot, but from my own opinion, like my favourite scenes from that film were actually just the interaction scenes from the characters. That when we really got it, like I love the Kano and Cabal's interaction scene, like how he made Kano turn, like just by saying, "Think about what you're going to get, double it, and then double it again." Like I just found it was really good, and then just how like Kano was just like brushing it off like he is, like he does throughout the whole film. Pretty much, he just brushes everything off like it's a joke, pretty much, and I love that. Obviously, you can tell from the tone of my voice who I'm going to say is one of my favourite actors from and characters throughout that. But yeah, they really pulled that out of the bags. Like seriously, they were just so good with how they were interacting, like the dialogue between the two, it just really stood out. And like even like when Kano first notices Cabal, like just the eye red flare kind of thing, it just, those tiny bit of details just really add to what's happening. Like it's just so sick. And then like going on from Kano and Cabal's, the second main favourite film that was favourite scene for the that the characters were interacting was the dinner table scene. Like how Kano first walks in, like, and he sees Jax, like he's mocking him, like, oh bloody hell, like he's being serious, like all that. Like I just found like it was good, and then like they just turned it around just to be like, no, look, really, you should be on your knees, bit like in front of this man because he's here to save you. And then they all like, you know, you're an untrained dog and stuff, like it's just, and then like they're all looking back at Kano, so like how he enters the scene and he's like ready to take everyone, like, you know, I'm gonna mock you, I'm gonna take the piss out of you or whatever. So then like in return, like he actually got like attacked himself the way that he would have when he first entered the room, what he was in like planning on doing. and it was just really well done. I could see like how they done that, like plan that out, and think like this is how he could actually open or like unlock his arcana. So I can kind of see like how they done that, and it was actually really well done. Like it was really really like thought out well. So it was good. Like the jokes out there as well with Kano, like just saying Kung Pao. Like I just cracked up. But you know what? As soon as he said that, that actually made me think of another film from like ages ago called Kung Pao. Like it was a knockoff film, and it just made me really want to watch it after. But yeah, I just never got around to doing it. But I will. But if you haven't seen that, mate, it was sick. But going from that, so yeah, they were my favourite things. From that, we also had the Kung Lao Flawless Victory. Now, the only thing that took it away, and this is a big thing for me, that was also in my negatives, but I mean, seeing this Kung Lao Flawless Victory as awesome is a positive, because when I first saw it, like, I did, like, have my hands in my head. I was like, that is sick. And I know that a lot of people was upset about Nitara, like, she didn't get nothing. She was just there. Like, she was literally just there for the sake of it, in my opinion. Anyway, but from that, like, you can see from, like, the Kung Lao, like, they were gonna just try and make him look like the OG. Like, they made it seem like Liu Kang was, like, the second chosen one, and Kung Lao was the chosen one, kind of thing, or you know what I'm saying? Like it looks like the Kung Lao was, oh, not the Kung Lao, you know what I mean? Like Kung Lao is the better fighter between Kung Lao and Liu Kang in that. So it was interesting to see, but then yeah, it was just so sick. Like I say, like when you actually see the actual, like, oh, Shang's like, because I saw it from the trailer, like, you know what I mean, or like you knew that he was going to say a flawless victory, but it was the build up again from that, and that's what I like. It was like the scenes that they did actually do really well on. It just wasn't so much cut and edit here and there. It was just little things like Kung Lao threw his hat toward Shang Tsung, and he literally just done his like 90-degree bloody neck crack like to divert the bloody like hat, and you're just like, okay, fair enough, like that was pretty sick, like because it shows like Shang Tsung is like easy in business kind of thing. But then because like I saw that, I was like, I know what's coming now, because I'm now like kind of picking little bits and going like, right, okay, we've seen Tara like flying about, I think it's either Raiden's or Fujin's statue, and then all suddenly you do hear like flawless victory. So it was kind of like, okay, I do get what they were doing and everything, but they just showed it like we knew it was coming basically. But I still really enjoy it. I've like literally my reaction to it still, I was just like, oh my god, like they're actually doing it. Like they're actually doing one of my favourite fatalities, but in the same way, like it's also really like a brutality. It wasn't exactly like the game kind of thing, but like it was near enough. Like it was just, it had its own tweak to it, shall we say. So it was like the game, but it had its own little tweak. So it wasn't exactly, but when it did happen, I loved it. Like it was just like, Max Hung, you're my boy. I see that. Like Kung Lao, he put the work in, and like literally everything he done through that like was just awesome. But again, we'll hold off for the characters and the actors. But yeah, I liked that they actually going on to like the next thing with this though. Like I love the Kung Lao flawless victory, but now like I'm gonna say this because I've seen a lot of hate for this, and I didn't mind like the different like clans or like things that were being mentioned. Like I suppose if I was going by through MKX, but like the different factions, you had like White Lotus. So I suppose you go through like Temple of Light. You had the Special Forces, and you had the Black Dragon. I really love the fact that they've actually done that. Like, why are people actually hating on this? Like, it's part of the story. Like, I know it's like they done it from the originals as well, Special Forces and stuff. And I've seen like a lot of MK fans saying that they are huge MK fans and saying that like it's not special forces. Like, I understand, but I don't understand why a lot of people are hating on it. You know, like maybe if it didn't happen before, like it didn't recuperate as a special forces or something like before the game or something. But I'm almost certain that it is. Like, back me up on this, people. Like, I'm pretty sure this is an actual thing. Like, special forces was an actual thing throughout the whole thing, right? Like, throughout the whole of Mortal Kombat. I'm not just like trying to make something like a reality here. Like, this actually happened. So yeah, anyway, we've come to the 15-minute mark. I'm just gonna have a quick look into the live chat, so let's just check this out. So blah 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 blah, caught blind. There's quite a few of you actually commented. Didn't have anything here. Here boys, hey family, here first. I feel like Jax and Sub-Zero fight could have been more. Yeah, like again, I do see what you're saying, Dave. Like, I do wish that there was more of the fights, but again, like, I'm gonna get into that, man. Like, don't worry, hold on. Jax being tossed about was off for me. No, I didn't. No, Jax being tossed about wasn't. You gotta see it, man. It's Mortal Kombat. Like, people are gonna be literally being grabbed and thrown about, like, no matter what size you are, man. Like, look at, you know, it is Jax, but you, like, with Sub-Zero, man, like, well, not even just Sub-Zero. Like, I'm not gonna say like everyone, like, there's I suppose certain characters and whatnot, but like, I don't know. I think that with Jax being tossed about was not too bad. So like, yeah, nah. I think it was alright personally. Vaseline, no worries. Like, thanks for joining. Anyway, you're awesome. He doesn't stand a chance. Hit the like button, fam. My babe. Thank you, Basti. So I'm just actually reading through this so much, guys. Like, very quickly. Sorry. So hello, Tori, my man. How you doing, mate? I'm glad that you enjoyed my tricking videos, my man. Like, thanks so much, pal. Like, yeah, they were just old school stuff. So yeah, anyone listening to this stream, I did actually partake in a sport called tricking. It's actually one of the things at the moment, like, I'll say at the moment, it's been going on for like 20 years now or something like that. It's insane. Like, I've been through a big majority of that, so yeah. But yeah, just checking if there's any questions. Oh, King, Lou, I want to ask, who do you think Sonya's unit is in second? Mate, I can't believe I actually fell for that. Not good. Anyway, so just going from that, fight roll should have been reverse. Sub-Zero hitting Jax to no effect, then have Sub-Zero use his powers. Yeah, I think, again, but obviously, like, I think that was just how they actually beat Jax in the end. Like, just to say, like, yeah, well, like, he did use his powers, he needed something more, therefore he needed his Arcana. So, but yeah, right, guys, just getting back onto the things I really liked, because I do want to get this into like an hour or the hour 15 mark if I can, and I do have a lot of things I do want to go through. But yeah, for the guys that just joined, like I said, there's 9 points and we're 9 in scenes that I liked. So now we're actually going to go into number 6. So I didn't actually mind the reptile scene. Now, because again, I think I actually like warmed up from the idea of what we were seeing, but then because again it's not the ninja that we know, and obviously we have had the 95 film, that will always stand out for me because that fight scene is just so good. It's just on another level of just how good that Liu Kang and reptile fight was in the 95s. So, but how they've actually done this, like at the end of it, how like they were all like trying to find reptile, and how they like then ended up being like a 3-on-1. I found that really good because at the same time it was like 3 warriors. I suppose, okay, 2 champions. Then obviously you had Kano and Cole. But they're fighting, and obviously they can't unlock their Arcana yet. So, and then obviously you have Sonya as well, who's doing her bit. Obviously she can't get her Arcana, but yeah, I think it was just really good. yeah, I just think that in general, like, there's just so many references in that reptile fight that I was just like, they just done that so well. Like, how he had the long tongue, like we know of the long tongue, and then obviously Kano being dragged across the bloody room with that long tongue, and then you're just like, okay, like that's from the games, that you should be happy about that in some way. Then you also had the acid as well. Like again, like he pulled the knife out like from his body and just used the acid from that, and then Kano using the chains to use the acid to get out of it. Again, that's like, it's just how they're using those characters to interact, to being like, right, that's how you do that, and blah 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 blah. Like, that is what I went in to watch Mortal Kombat for, was things like that and the fights. Like, it's Mortal Kombat, like. But again, like, I just love all those little reptile like references that they've done, like using the long tongue, you like getting the acid out. And I know it's like it was Deadly Alliance. I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing before this reptile. But it's Ice Off. Obviously, I mentioned it in my last video. Obviously, there was a hope that this wasn't going to be the original reptile, but it is. So yeah, that's what we're going to get, unfortunately. But I didn't mind it. I thought it was good. I really didn't think there was actually anything too wrong with it after like warming up to it. But again, like, for someone like, I just know there was just so many Mortal Kombat fans out there that just didn't know this film was coming out, and then when they saw the trailer, like they, like, obviously we all warmed up to it in some way, and so many other people just went, no, I'm not warming up to this whatsoever. It's just, yeah, I'm just not gonna say it really. Like, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's just so bad. Also with the reptile thing as well, like same with his invincibility, like you saw that as well. Like, again, they just done it so well. I just think, yeah, they didn't do the like it the way that they did for Mortal Kombat in the 90s, but the way that they've done it in this one was good. They should like really be happy with the way that they've done it. And again, I know a lot of people are going to hate on me saying that, but yeah, I did enjoy the reptile scene. It wasn't like, at first I thought there was going to be like some really stupid things from that, but yeah, no, the more like I watch it, I'm just like, actually, yeah, like it is good. Like, I think people should actually really see that, you know, like, for the games and for the newcomers, for the new audience, like actually seeing this, like being like, yeah, like it's fair enough. Like they've done what they can, and yeah, Reptile for me is a big tick. I think it was alright. Just different levels from the 95 one personally, but like 95 again, like it was a good scene, but 95 still stands out for me. Like, it's still my favourite, but yeah, it's still good. I liked it. So anyway, now number 7. It leads me into the outfits. The outfits were just so... God, like, it was just... How they actually just managed to pull off, like, the arcade, like, original outfits and have their own tweaks to them, but I know there's a lot of people that have actually been hating on the fact that Scorpion and Sub-Zero had armour, but I'm sorry, like... I don't see that being like the worst thing at all, because throughout the whole thing, like, the outfits have been on point. Like Kung Lao, Liu Kang, like Shang Tsung, like he has his different approach to how he does in other games and whatnot, but I think the way that they pulled that off, kind of like they did in what was that film? It's been referenced so many times throughout, but the Big Trouble in Little China. Like, they went for that kind of vibe, and I digged it. Like, I actually thought that was just on point. Like, that was actually so sick. But yeah. Sorry, I was actually just reading into the chat. King was asking that when Sonya said something in the tour for her unit in seconds, killing everyone. Who do you think that was? Wasn't that not Sub-Zero? Like, when did that actually happen? Like, I watched this a few times. Wait, I was asking that when Sonya and said something tore through her unit in seconds, killing everyone, who do you think that was? I don't know. Yeah. I would have thought that was Sub-Zero, no? Was that not? Am I just getting a little bit confused? But anyway, no, sorry, yeah, no, sorry, man, I thought you was actually joking when I mentioned that earlier. But, yeah, sorry, King, I didn't actually know. It was only because, like, Tori actually threw me off, like, just throwing some emojis under that, like, it really threw me. Like, anyway, I'm not complaining, I'm not moaning or blaming anyone, shall I say, God. This is what happens when I actually do things, like, off the bat, like, I actually end up having, like... Like, I wanted, like, when I'm doing things like this, I actually end up, like, going back and editing the bits. So, but anyway, let's just move on. So, yeah, we've got the outfits. Like, I just actually thought they were just, like, on point. Kung Lao, Liu Kang, like, you can't really go too wrong with, like, Jax and Sonya. Like, they were good. And, yeah, like, Cabal, God, like, shall we even go there? Like, that was insane. Like... I just couldn't actually believe how well they actually done him. Like, it was really good. But, yeah. Now, with that said, where we're actually going into the outfits, I suppose at this point, this would be the best bit to actually say about the actors that really stood out for me. So, the actors that really stood out for me, there are 6. Now, and again, I'm not saying, like, the people that didn't make it are not worth mentioning. But yeah, we are gonna like have a bit of more of a chat about it. But yeah, 6 actors that really stood out for me was Hiroyuki Sanada's Scorpion, Joe Taslim's Sub-Zero, Ludi Lin's Liu Kang, Max Hung's Kung Lao, Cabal, Josh Lawson's Cabal, sorry, and oh God, I'm trying to actually remember the last one. I can't actually remember. To save my life. Yeah, no, there actually is. It will come back in a bit, I'm sure. But anyway, so like I mentioned earlier, with like Hiroyuki Sanada's and Joe Taslim's performance throughout, like I thought it was just so good. Like Joe Taslim alone, like the way that he just had that scary vibe to him. It was just so sick how they actually managed to just capture that. Just within the first 14 minutes of the opening scenes, I suppose. Like I just really did it. Like I could see how they actually managed to see what they wanted to achieve, and I'd see that I see that they done it. Like it's just like people that I've spoken to have actually said like it's just beautiful like how they actually opened that, and like even when Raiden's walking away with a child, it's just like yeah, it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Ludi Lin, yeah, Kung Lao, like I really did enjoy them. Like again, I just wish they had a little bit more of a connection. I suppose like it wasn't anything too bad. It was just the fact that like because I know who they are, I could actually already agree with the fact that it's fine. But yeah, with the relationship, I just feel like they needed to build on it. But both Ludi Lin and Max Hung, when they were on screen, I loved them. Like, I walked out of that with thinking about Ludi Lin and actually thinking, you know what, like, he was Liu Kang. Like, he was actually, I walked out and thinking, he was actually like Robin Show's, not like Robin Show. Robin Show's like 95's version was like a complete different Liu Kang to me. But I just found that I still walked out of it and went, yep, that is Liu Kang. Like, I still really, like, yeah, I really can't fault him, really. Like, yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, yeah, so I'm actually just trying to remember the last person that I thought of, like, who was actually mentioned in my 6. Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, Kung Lao. Uh, yeah. Oh god, they're actually running out of my. They're coming out of my head. It's just because I've got so many of these other things that I'm reading from at the second. But anyway, this is the first stream, so let's just keep going. Anyway, so yeah, with those actors anyway, like I did actually enjoy them. But because obviously they did really stand out for me. Cabal. Obviously, again, obviously it wasn't his voice. Like I know that we have to just point that out. It wasn't his voice. But the way that the actor was like when he was fighting, I thought it was good. Like the way that he looked. He's actually been like quite decent on Twitter as well. Like he's actually like as an actor, like as a person. Sorry, like he's actually like really nice. Like he just talks to everyone. He's replied to me about me asking him about the striker badge. If you don't actually know this, like Cabal has a badge on his police outfit, and it actually has striker's badge on it. Like that's pretty cool. Like I really like that. And with that, that's actually going to lead me into my ninth and final thing that I like about the good things. Now the references and the Easter eggs. Now I gotta say, like every single time I saw a reference, I was in shock. Like I was like pulling my hair. I was like, oh my god, oh my, like did you see this? Because I was watching it with my mate at the time. For the first time, and it was like, oh my god, did you see like that's Shao Kahn, that's Nightwolf, like oh my god, Liu Kang dropped Boro Cho's name just before they're fighting. You had test your might, like even for a split second, like I actually stopped watching this film because I was like, oh my god, he just said test your might, dude. And then my friend was like, oh yeah, of course, test your might, that's sick. And then yeah, there's so many Easter eggs out there in this film. Obviously if you slow it down, there's God knows how many little things we're gonna find. All the people in this chat now, like I know that they've found things themselves. Like Dave is on the train at the moment, he's literally found a few things himself. Like fair play to you, man. Yeah, and is it Scorpion or Toasty? Sorry, he's been sharing so much recently. Like he's doing bits, mate. So yeah, really good, really good. But with those references, this is actually now gonna lead me into the bad things or like the things I didn't like about this film, and I hope I don't get lost in this because unfortunately this is the bit where it's gonna go a bit south. So with the references being a good thing, I'm also gonna say it was also a bad thing for a few reasons. There was like a few obvious ones that really stood out for me, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but Shinnok's amulet. Like at first I saw that, I was like, oh my god, it's Shinnok's amulet. What is that? Like, oh my god, that's insane. And then when I've watched it for the second time, it raised a lot of questions. Like I was so confused why Shinnok's amulet, this, like if you don't know from the game, Shinnok is literally like an elder, like he's an elder god, right? Like he's literally no, he's not an elder god, sorry. Like he's literally like he's so powerful. He's just so powerful. I don't know why I'm lost for words at the moment about Shinnok. I having a blank moment tonight for some reason. I think it's the fact of doing a podcast. It's thrown me off a little bit. But Shinnok's amulet, and Kano just picked it up. This is another thing, we didn't see Kano put that back, and this is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to get this stream out, because I spotted that. I was like, did anyone actually see Kano put that back? And then later on we saw that I think it was like the place that the Shinnok's amulet was in a later scene. This is one that Toasty actually sent, and they said that it was a really good Oh, sorry. What was it? Sorry, it was Toasty sent like a picture of I think it's Kano just about to speak to Cabal, and Shinnok's amulet is just not there still, and I was just like, yeah, nah, I don't think Kano should have it. Like, and how they just have it out in the open like that was just, yeah, Oh, thank you so much, King. He's a fallen elder god. Like, yeah, thank you so much, my man. Um, God, this is why I love you guys. Thanks so much, King. But yeah, Shinnok was the fallen elder god, and he was kept in his amulet because it was basically too powerful. It was just, yeah, it's just so mad, and they just like Kano just picked it up, and I was like, yeah, and Liu Kang was like, yeah, and put it back. And surely with Raiden being there, like, or not actually there at first, but like Raiden the Protector, if he's gonna have Shinnok's amulet, he wouldn't just let him have that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was good, definitely good. It was like, oh my god, it's there. But then afterwards, watching it a few times, I was like, yeah, it really shouldn't have been there. I'm really sorry, it really shouldn't have been. But yeah, so then with that again, like it's now gonna I feel like this is gonna be such like controversial like podcast, because now all the things I am saying is just like it kind of sounds like I'm just backtracking everything I just said, but it's not. Like, just hear me out. So like, number one I have to say is the fights need to be longer and not cut so much, because like honestly the things that they did, right, like, and they even did do it during the Bihan and Hanzo fight. When I watched it, there was times where like certain clips was only there for like 2, maybe 3 frames, and then it went back to a different shot to then literally again, like even like a 3-4 seconds, like it then went to another shot, and I was like, oh god, what just happened? Like, I didn't know where to look, kind of thing. I know they're trying to like make it go, oh look at all this action happening, and it's happening and blah blah blah, but the actors big this up to be like it's an action, it's martial arts, and they're doing their own stunts and all this other stuff. But then why would you say that and then have all these little cuts? I don't feel like you needed that. Like, surely it should have just been that's it. Like, it's a Mortal Kombat film. It needs to have the fights. It needs to have just longer fights. Like, if you really think about it as well, like, I'm even just going to say this just from, like, a few of my examples. But, like, just check this out. If you're obviously just listening, you can't check this out just yet, or have a look at this anyway. But I saw this with The Protector. Tony Jars, like The Protector, the Warrior King if you're from the UK. Like, this film's had like loads of different names in the past, but you're having this one fight scene happen here. Yeah, if you haven't watched this scene, I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link down below. But like, all this is like one shot, and this was done, what, 20, God knows how long, like 12 years ago, 14 years ago, and here we are in today's age, and like we're getting all these little cuts and stuff to be like, yeah, this is how we're actually going to do this, and blah 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 blah. Like, nah, it shouldn't have been like that, and it's not how I would have actually have thought it would have turned out, to be completely honest. I would have wanted a lot more fight sequence in this whole thing. I'm just actually going to let this run so you guys can actually entertain and like watch this and be entertained. But like, yeah, I just felt like he just needed to be a lot longer, to be honest. And because of the editing as well, like there were so many things, the editing, like there was just like, it just took away so many little things that I was actually looking forward to seeing. Like, and unfortunately, like I mentioned this in my character select, I really was looking forward to this, and I just felt let down. And I'm just like, I know it's like we want positive like criticism and stuff, but like Liu Kang's bicycle kick, I was waiting so long for that, and he just, I don't know, he just, I don't know, he just, it was just cut so much that in the 95 version we just had all this stuff, and like the build up from the 95's one where, like, you know, Reptile was like getting like attacked and this and that and whatever, to then all of a sudden, like in the 21 version, like Cabal's like, oh, blah blah blah, I've just cut you, and then he just screams and goes, ah, and does, oh, like, doesn't obviously do that, but you know what I'm saying, like, he didn't make that noise. But I just feel like in the 95 version there was the build up, it was like, you know, he was getting angry, the lightning was going on in the background, and I know we shouldn't really be comparing the two, but like for me, that Liu Kang and Reptile scene will always have a special place in my heart, and it's from start to finish. That bicycle kick was just epic. It was just so good, and it was just a shame that they just never actually done that for themselves, really, like in this one. So I just hope, like, if they do it again, I know that they, like, I've seen a lot of people say, oh, but like that's Liu Kang's first one and you can't really allow that, but we had that Liu Kang, Robin shows Liu Kang, like, you were to believe that was his first one. You were to believe Shang Tsung brought out like Liu Kang's like special ability. I'm not saying Arcana in 95's one, but his special move, like his projectiles, like he done that, was that, I found that was like a thing for first. Like, I generally didn't actually think that, you know, I was just expecting more just from that scene, but rest assured, like, you know, they can still bring like another one out, and yeah, we can actually just manage to do that, so we'll just do that. But yeah, sorry, what's just happened? Watch out for copyright there. Oh man, I didn't know that was going to be a thing. Anyway, we are living and learning, man. We'll just see what happens. But yeah, I was just expecting a lot more from the Liu Kang bicycle kick overall, if you didn't actually hear that. But yeah, the Liu Kang bicycle kick, I was just expecting a lot more. But yeah, so this actually goes into Outworld. The Outworld side needed a lot more screen time. They just needed a lot more build up. It really did need more in the end. Yeah, it just needs to get on with it, kind of thing. And I didn't really like the Outworld being as light as it was. Really, like, it just wasn't. It wasn't particularly great for me. The failure of the pit, like, I like the look of the pit. I liked it. I really did like the look of the pit, but the lack of use for the fatality, nope, not for me. Why did you do that? That was like, literally, you had a stage there, you had a classic stage, and you just didn't use it. Like, okay, so now in the next one, like sequel, is there going to be a stage fatality that us MK fans are going to like? Because you are literally, that was a real, like, middle finger I found. But yeah, so I really didn't like that, but I'm gonna get to other things soon, like very soon. I am looking at the time for this, but like, in our group chat, I know Tori and Bailey have said this, they've mentioned this in the chat themselves. I'm pretty sure that Aladdin actually agreed with me on this as well. But the hand-to-hand combat, like, I can't believe there was like literally next to none, really. Like, at the beginning, yes. Like, the ending, yes. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, yeah. Like, even, but then again, like, he actually had the swords and stuff, so like even that was taken away. You just, we have been waiting so long for a Mortal Kombat film, and I don't want to keep going on with like the real bad things with this, but it's just the fact that it was a fact that the hand-to-hand combat needed to be there, and it just simply there was, but there was nowhere near enough that I was expecting, considering that everyone in the cast and whoever else had watched it was like, that was my girlfriend, sorry, won't believe the the hand-to-hand combat. It was just absolutely, like, there was just not as much of it. And these people that were saying, again, that's where I was, sorry, but yeah, when it was like saying about the whole, like, people that were seeing the film and were saying like this was insane martial arts and everything, I was like, okay, like, I can't wait to actually see it, but my god, like, I saw it and I was just waiting because they kept on saying about the raid as well and like other things. I was like, oh, awesome, we're gonna actually see like some proper big stuff, and it just lacked it a lot. I just found like the fatalities overshined the hand-to-hand combat. It overshined the what Mortal Kombat is. Yeah, it is fatalities and everything else, but like, I went in there to be like, I want to come out like I did when I watched the raid, like Raid 2. I watched both raids in the cinema, in IMAX. I saw, like, I remember my friend actually saying to me, "You want to see, like, you like Mortal Kombat, like that's like, yeah, come and watch the raid because I want to go and see it. I need someone to watch it with me." I went in there, I came out, I was like, that needs to be Mortal Kombat. Like, why is that not a thing? And here we are, and it didn't do that for me. Like, and it's a shame. Like, it is a shame. Like, that's just how they done it, really. But yeah, so anyway, like, we're getting pretty close to like the 1 hour mark. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna highlight a few things that I do really, really want to go over. Things that they need to improve on this. These three things that really stood out. These were the things that I was like, nah. Right, so first things first. Now, how... I know that I said about going into the actors that I didn't like. But the thing is that I didn't necessarily not like them. It's just the fact I wanted a lot more screen time with them. So I'll put that in like an overall view about the people that I didn't mention at first. I just wanted a lot more time, a lot more interaction, a lot more something to them. But this one character, I have to say, I am wanting a complete different portrayal in the sequel, and I like want to see it. But Raiden, for me, I know there's people in this that are like, oh, what, like, you know, what, like Vasi. I know Vasi was like, I don't understand why Raiden was just like not liked and stuff. I heard you on the stream. I went back and watched your streams, by the way, guys. But we had Scorpion's Revenge. We had that Raiden was, for me, the Raiden I want in a live action film. He was just so awesome. And it's a cartoon. Why are we getting a better version in a cartoon than we are in the live action for a character that is like, he shouldn't be walked on as much as he was? And he didn't seem like he cared. Like, it was like, oh, these are my fighters kind of thing, where all the other times that we've seen Raiden portray as Raiden, he's like guiding them, he's like trying to make them follow the path and all that. Like, he's like just saying like, Cole Young, well, you're obviously not Hazo Hasashi descendant. Well, see you later, it's a portal, go home. You have none of this, mate. but yeah. Also, just very quickly, like, I'm just going to throw this out there, but don't you think, yeah, that Cole's family must be petrified of all types of weather at this point, because this is just a normal family, right? And they've had like ice blocks thrown at them, like they're having electricity teleports happening all the time. Like, I just wouldn't know. Like, imagine if it was like, obviously at the end, like Liu Kang was like, here, let me help you like warm up, like here, like or whatever. But then he's just all suddenly like, yeah, I'm on fire, like kind of thing. And then yeah, the family could be like, well, like when it's ever hot, like maybe it's something that's happened with Liu Kang. But yeah, yeah. So with that, Raiden, yeah, they just need to portray him a little bit more as more someone that's guiding them and someone that actually believes in them and actually feels like something, whatever is happening, it is just not right. And yeah, there's just a major flaw with him, because the fact that he could have just done what he did with Shang Tsung at the beginning, at the end, sorry, it could have just happened after Cole Young obtained his Arcana. Like, it could have just been like, okay, see you later. Like, don't need you now, it's fine. So, but this actually then goes into like another funny thing I thought of. Like, this is a scene, yeah, that they could have done. That obviously they have like Shang Tsung and everyone at Raiden's temple now, yeah. They've broken through and like they're like Raiden and that have gone to the void. Imagine if like Kano, yeah, managed to pick up like one of the ornaments or whatever for all the fallen champions or whatever. So you just see him like having in one arm you have like the Great Kung Lao story, and on the other one you have like Shao Kahn or like the Edenian story or whatever, and like he's just walking out with them, like one under each arm. Whatever. That would actually be so good. I just felt like that was a missed opportunity. Hopefully there was like a director's cut version and we can see that later on down the line. But yeah, yeah, and finally, really, yeah. Again, there's okay. 2 more points. Okay, just with Molina, I didn't actually mind her. I thought she was okay. Like, I know we're going through this whole like she needs. It's not how she was in the games, or you know, and I know other people can argue with me on that fact as well about Molina, like not the way that she is in the games and whatever, but. It was just like the little things I pointed out. Like, it was like her eyes changed. Like when you first she's introduced, you see her face. Her eyes are like the way that they are in the games. But as the film goes on, like it's like just like stopped or it's changed for some reason. And yeah, I don't know why it just changes so much. Like, I really don't get it. Like Shang Tsung's eyes, yeah, I get that, but like Molina's eyes, like changing as much as it did, I didn't get it. And the first intro to that, and I'm gonna hate this person that said this, but Molina's voice, when you first hear her, and I need to understand why the voices are like that when they're outworld in that scene, but why is Molina's voice, it sounds like Kronika and Shiva mixed together. Like, I can really like hear that, and I hate it now. Like, I seriously hate it. So yeah, and finally, the thing that I really right. So this is actually going to go into the next bit anyway. So Goro itself, Goro should have been held back for the sequel. I don't like the way how he went down. They actually just made Goro look poor. Like, not look visually, like, but just the way that, you know, Cole was struggling a couple of days ago to beat Ian Street's character, and now 2 days later he's been smacked about and he's still then saying, oh, like, you know, do the uppercut, and then he just kills him. And I don't agree, because Goro is meant to be this 9-time Mortal Kombat champion for Outworld, who's just been taken out by someone who we don't know really. People still questioning what his like ability really is. Don't fully understand. I get it after watching it so long. I'm still waiting for Cole to be developed, so maybe his will come out over time. But yeah, I don't know. Just oh yo, what up? Comment cop, how you doing, my man? I've got to go. Where did you just start? Anyways, just wanted to say hi. Have a good man. Oh man, thanks so much, man. This is why I love you guys, man. Thanks so much for joining this stream and actually just giving your words, like just dropping by and saying hi. Like, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Vasi, I see what you're saying. Yeah, poor Goro. Like, it's just like, I don't mean that in a really horrible. Like, I'm having like, I don't hate him. It's just I hate. I'm not going to use the word hate. I don't hate anything in this. Like, I just really didn't like Raiden's portrayal in that. Like, that's the strongest thing I'm going to say in this, really. But Goro, he should have been held back. And one of the things that I really feel that they could have done here. Now, this is a theory, or like what I think they could have done. So, Savage, you better listen to this one, boy, because I think you're going to like this one. But Goro should have been held back for the sequel and made him like this big beast that Shang Tsung like orders, basically, like not like just references him a few times throughout the film. Alright? So yeah, I don't think he should be in the first one, or this one. Should definitely be held for the sequel, for the tournament, like the tournament champion he is. Like, you know, maybe make Raiden have like a couple of more lines of dialogue or something, like just to say, like, you know, Goro is this big guy and he's, you know, he's fighting for Shang Tsung, making it like more of a story as why is Goro this, like, you know, why is Goro fighting for Shang Tsung of all people? Like, couldn't Goro turn around on Shang Tsung kind of thing, but then explain the tournament and what he's fighting for? And oh, it's just so anyway, yeah, carrying on. So anyway, like, what I think they should have done is that they should have had Goro held back for the sequel, and when Raiden actually zaps Shang Tsung back to Outworld, there should have been an after credit scene. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is my idea, right? So Shang Tsung is sitting on his throne, and it's Outworld, but it's dark. It's not the light Outworld that we've seen throughout the film. Okay, so it's dark. Yeah. All suddenly, Shang Tsung is sitting there on his throne, and he's being like, "Yo," like, he's not obviously saying "yo," but he's like, "Look," talking to himself. Raiden's mortals have maybe won this time, but they won't be ready for the tournament. Not even a moon away, or, you know, a full moon away, or whatever, like Liu Kang says, or whatever. And then he looks up and the door is open, right? But it's kind of like, well, who's that, right? So then it comes out in the dark, and he's like, but we're gonna have, but it mentions something to say, well, actually, but of course he's gonna have to get past my 9-time winning champion. And Goro comes out exactly the same, near enough exactly the same way that he does in Mortal Kombat X trailers, if you remember rightly. He comes out of the dark, the shadows, and he's just cracking his, like, knuckles, or his hands, you know. And I just think, like, that would have bigged the sequel up so much. Not only because, you know, Johnny Cage is going to be in it, but you also have Goro, and that is that. Like, it's kind of like, at the same time, what are you really going to do? Like, it's been done now, but that is how I would have done it anyway. So yeah, just some final thoughts, guys. Like, I'm actually just going to say, I kind of wish that they did actually add these in here. It was kind of like a few little missed opportunities here. But I like... I would like to know how who Liu Kang killed to be able to get his mark in, and the guy from Brazil. I would actually like to know who they were on about, because I've seen loads of theories about this as well. Like, I've actually seen someone actually say that it was Cyrax. I've seen someone actually say, like, it was well, I've seen Nomad. But yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I just I wish they had kind of threw that in there, or like maybe they're building towards it to maybe have the guy come back or whoever, but going from my knowledge, I can't remember who a fighter would be in Brazil. So we're going to have to look through that one. But again, like I said months ago, we're going to rip into this film. We're going to find everything that we can. You guys are smashing it as well. If you personally have found any Easter eggs and you're listening to this, well done. Like, I did it myself. Like, I've actually got another video project that's coming, and it's going to be interesting anyway. A few things that I wish that you kind of had. I kind of wish that Liu Kang and Sub-Zero had more of a fight in there, but at the same time, I kind of understand like time or whatever. Maybe there's a cut of it out there. But I was kind of looking forward to that because obviously we had the TV spot with Kung Lao appearing from the teleport. Just looking at the Night Vice version, having them have a full fight with Sub-Zero and Liu Kang, it was just like, then you go from that to then having one projectile thrown at each other, like the fireball, then an ice ball, then Sub-Zero just grabbing Liu Kang. I need to be so cut by Kung Lao. Like, there's got to be more of a fight, surely. There has to be. Like, I just need to see it. I would love it, and that's what I'm asking. I need longer fights. I need longer brutalities and stuff like that. Like, yeah. And yeah, hopefully I'm actually going to leave this on a really good note, like, because overall, like I say, I had my good things, I had my bad things on there, and yeah, like, overall I'm going to give it a rating now, but just because, like, from a Mortal Kombat perspective, and also watching it from an audience perspective, I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10, because it wasn't what I was expecting. I kind of lived up to the hype that was happening, and not saying that it failed. There was quite a lot, like I said, there was quite a lot of scenes that I really enjoyed, definitely, 100%. But things that they really need to do is honestly just get these things, like, marked out, okay? Like, they really need to actually just get the longer fight scenes, and I think they need to understand the build-ups a little bit more, because that build-up for Liu Kang, like, that I'll get over it kind of thing, but it was just not the first impression that I was kind of looking for kind of thing. So, but yeah, it'll just go up from there anyway. The more Easter eggs I'll see, I'm sure, the more ratings or the higher rating it would probably get, and yeah, the more times that I'll watch it, probably, you know, it will sink in over time that it just, yeah, it was a good, like, it is a good film. It is a good film, but it's it has its flaws. It was a good attempt. I think they're going to have a better time around this time around, because I know that obviously they had this specific formula for films in general, like when it comes to script writing and stuff. So I must, like, understand from, like, obviously Greg Russo's perspective that obviously he's come in, he's, like, just picked up a mess, I suppose. Not a mess, like, obviously there's the structure, but he's done what he can, and you can see they did their work to get what they can for the fans in there. But what I'm hoping for now is that, because Mortal Kombat says it in the title, it's Mortal Kombat, it's the tournament. Like, so this sequel is gonna be tournament based. I don't care what anyone says at this point, because I don't think they need to do. It would be good that they did do the character development, but now they've built up this point that there has to be a tournament, unless they do something that, again, it's something in between of what happened last and then also the tournament. But then again, it's just like, you're just then repeating itself again, so you can't really have that. So yeah, that's just something that I'm gonna say. So yeah, just before I go, I'm actually just gonna have a quick read through these comments really quick, because I really do appreciate you guys actually stopping by. Mark, your soul is mine. Your soul is mine, mate. No, sorry. So, So let's just keep going because, blimey, you guys have actually been talking away. I have actually tried to actually look over this stream as much as I can. It's just a little bit difficult doing this as a one-man army. I think you kind of need to have someone else there being able to read the comments and actually, point out some of the good things and, like, get you guys involved. But yeah, you guys have actually smashed it. I think he's nailed his power in the past stream. And now I'll tear out the spine. That was epic. Yeah, like, at least he got a line. At least Goro got a line to say. And now I tear out your spine. Yeah, fair enough. That is true, Mark. I'm having a stream at the moment, Bill. Sorry. So this is actually going to be a bit of a news for me, really. So that would be interesting. Yeah, so just with that said, guys, I'm actually going to call my mate back real quick. Because he's just watched the movie, I think. So hang on, let me just put this on loudspeaker because this is also going to lead into something else. Hang on, hopefully he answers.
Hello, guys.
You right, Bill?
You streaming?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Bill.
Guys, this film, what the am I gonna play it on?
Oh, Bill. Sorry, man. I thought you was calling in to actually say I've watched it.
Not yet, guys, not yet.
Oh, Bill. In that case, then let me call you back.
No worries, mate. Have fun.
Thanks, man. I'll call you back in like 5 minutes.
Bye.
Bye, mate. So anyway, with that said, Bill is actually going to be watching the film tonight, if he can actually watch it from the sound of things. And I'm going to be actually doing a talk with him tomorrow about his thoughts while we're going to be playing Mortal Kombat 11. So if you guys are into Mortal Kombat 11, please come in, drop by, have a little bit of a chat with Bill. Bill's my boy. He's a big old Mortal Kombat fan, so it'll be interesting to actually see what he can do. So or what he has actually, yeah, from what he can do. I haven't seen him play for a while, and I haven't actually played for a while. So we actually thought, you know what, this would actually be a bit of fun. We've actually been discussing this for the past couple of days, and yeah, so that's what we're going to do tomorrow. But yeah, with that said, guys, I am actually going to wrap it up there, and yeah, we're just gonna see what we can go up from there, really. Sorry, I was actually reading some of your comments, by the way. Sorry, before Bill rudely interrupted me. But yeah, Dave, nice one, giving it 6.5 out of 10. Awesome. Someone said this looks more like a Hollywood movie more than a Mortal Kombat movie. I get that. Like, it's a Hollywood movie. It's not a martial art movie. Like, they're trying to turn Mortal Kombat into a Hollywood movie. Like, it's Warner Brothers, and I don't think it necessarily really works that bad, that much. Sorry. So yeah, it's just yeah. So. Tooten, sorry that you joined late, man, but you know, it's all good. We're gonna check this out. What else do we have? Sorry, guys. Would have fitted to see that 5+. I think Cole's Arcana is very OP in ways. Yeah, I do agree. I really don't know what to do with this Cole Young character because to be fair, I really did like Lewis Tan's Cole Young. Like, I haven't actually touched that at all. Like, so we're going to have to talk about this again at another point. But I just wanted to get something out there because that video of my review was absolutely ridiculous. Like, it was taking me too long. So I think I might even do another stream like this at another day, maybe in a couple of days' time after the bank holiday. I'm going to spend some days with my partner. And, yeah, we're gonna do that. So, yeah, 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Yeah, so that's that really, guys. So yeah, with that said, what are your thoughts? Did you guys actually really enjoy the film? Was there much that you guys actually wanted more from this? Did you feel like the characters were used really well, or did you think that they could have done better? Who was your favourite character? Who was your favourite actor? And yeah, I haven't actually mentioned too much about the sequel too much. I just kind of mentioned about, like, obviously Goro should have been held off, but But yeah. But with that said, guys, I am going to leave it there. Also, just before I let you go, I am actually doing a giveaway for the Mortal Kombat Blood and Thunder issue 1 comic that you actually see on the screen now. That's actually done by Malibu. If it's something that you are interested in, all you have to do is simply subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications bell, then just go over to my giveaway video and comment the word done. Because once we get to that 1,000 subscriber mark, I will actually just be doing a random comment select to select the winner. So I wish you the best of luck, guys, and guys, thanks ever so much for dropping by. If you love Mortal Kombat just as much as I do, then I will see you for either the next video or for the next podcast. Peace.